The moment you decide you are rich energy, everything begins to change. This isn't just about money. It's about mindset. It's about energy. It's about walking through life with a deep belief that you attract value, you attract results, and you attract abundance, not by chasing it, but by becoming it. The world doesn't respond to doubt. It responds to certainty. In this video, you're going to learn exactly what it means to live like wealth is already yours. Not someday, not when everything is perfect, but right now. We'll break down how your thoughts shape your direction, how your words reflect your self-worth, and how your actions speak louder than any goal. You'll understand how to move, talk, and think like someone who doesn't beg for success, but commands it through discipline, clarity, and identity. If you're tired of feeling behind, if you're ready to stop chasing and start becoming, this message will give you the mindset shift you've been needing. Watch this carefully. Your future is listening. Chapter 1. Choose to believe that you are already enough. You have to start with believing that you're already enough. That's the beginning of rich energy. That's the beginning of success. Because until you believe it, nothing around you will reflect it. You can chase every opportunity, read every book, watch every video, but if deep down you feel like you're not enough, you will push success away every time. You'll question yourself, you'll doubt your next step, you'll hesitate when you should act, and you'll give up when you should fight. Now, the truth is, most people don't feel like they're enough. They look in the mirror and they see all the things they're not. They think about their past, their mistakes, what they don't have, who they don't know, and they use all that to decide how they feel about themselves. That's a trap. That's where people lose. They try to fix the outside without fixing the inside. They chase wealth when they don't believe they deserve it. They chase love when they don't love who they are. They chase status when they don't value their own voice. And they wonder why nothing sticks. If you want rich energy, you have to carry it first. Not when you have the car, not when you hit your goal, not when people clap for you. Right now, when nobody is watching, when you're alone in your room, then it's just you and your thoughts. That's where it starts. That's where belief is built. That's where you say to yourself, I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I am enough. And you say it until you believe it. You say it until your actions match it. You say it until your energy changes. You see, the richest people I've known didn't always have the best clothes or the flashiest things, but they had something in their eyes. You could see they were settled. They didn't need approval. They didn't chase attention. They didn't try to be loud. They just knew who they were. And that energy, that quiet, strong energy, was what made them magnetic. It drew people to them. It brought them opportunities. Because rich energy is not about being better than others. It's about knowing you don't have to compete. You don't have to fight for a place at the table. You already belong. Now, how do you build that? You start by watching how you speak to yourself. Every time you say, I'm not good enough, I'm behind, I don't think I can, you feed the wrong energy. You train your mind to see lack. And the more you focus on lack, the more you feel poor, not just in money, but in self-worth, in purpose, in clarity. So catch those thoughts. Replace them with better ones. Say, I have value. Say, I have what it takes. Say, I am building something real, and I respect the process. Don't wait to feel confident. Confidence is built by action, and action starts with belief. People ask me, how do I get rich? I tell them, You don't chase rich, you become rich. You become rich in how you carry yourself, in how you show up every day, in how you handle pressure, in how you treat people, in how you stay grounded when things go well, and how you stay focused when they don't. That's what rich energy is. It's the discipline to stay aligned with who you are, no matter what's happening around you. It's walking into a room and not needing to speak the loudest, because your presence already says enough. You want to attract wealth? Start with how you handle your mornings. Start with how you talk to people. Start with how you clean your space, manage your time, fuel your body, and build your habits. Every small decision is a message to your future. You either say, "I'm ready," or you say, "I don't believe yet." And the universe doesn't give more to someone who doubts themselves. It gives more to those who prepare like they already have it. Now listen, this doesn't mean you're perfect. This doesn't mean you never struggle. It means you stop waiting for proof that you matter. You stop waiting for permission to act like you're worth something. You stop asking the world to tell you who you are, and you start telling the world exactly what to expect from you. And that's a shift. That's the difference between being poor in mindset and being rich in identity. It's not about being arrogant. It's about being certain. Certain that you matter. Certain that you're building something. Certain that you can get up every time you fall and come back stronger. So, where do you go from here? You start with one small win today. You drink that water. You show up to that goal. You finish what you said you would. You follow through even when nobody's watching. You build that self-trust, because the more you trust yourself, the more power you feel. And the more power you feel, the more you attract things that match that power. Rich energy is not something you fake, it's something you build. Quietly. Day by day. It's not about proving to others, it's about proving to yourself that you can count on you. That you're done playing small. That you're done waiting for the right moment. That you don't need the perfect background, the perfect support, or the perfect conditions. You need belief. You need action. You need patience. That's it. Every great life starts with a decision. A decision to stop doubting. A decision to stop apologizing. A decision to stop shrinking just to fit into a place you've already outgrown. A decision to rise even if it's slow. A decision to move even when it's uncomfortable. A decision to believe even if nobody claps for you. So here's what I want you to remember today. You are already enough. Now act like it. Speak like it. Walk like it. Decide like it. Build like it. And if you keep doing that long enough, you'll realize wealth never needed to be it was always going to find you. Once you started acting like the person who deserves it. Chapter 2. Wake up and act like success is normal. You have to start your day with a mindset that success is not a rare event. It's your new normal. Not something you're trying to get one day, not something you're hoping to experience once in a while, but something that already belongs to you. You don't need to earn the right to act successful. You need to wake up and carry yourself like someone who already knows where they're going. This doesn't mean you pretend. It means you choose your attitude before the world chooses it for you. When most people wake up, they step into the same story, the same struggle, the same routine of doubt, distraction, and hesitation. That cycle keeps them small. They wait for something to happen before they feel successful. A job offer, a raise, an opportunity, applause. They wait for proof. But the truth is, the people who create the most success don't wait for proof. They create it. They don't ask, Will this be my day? They decide, this is my day. That one shift changes everything. When you walk into your morning already thinking like a winner, your energy shows it. You move differently, you speak clearly, you show respect for your time. You stop reacting to every little thing and start focusing on what matters. You protect your peace, because you know your energy is your greatest currency. You don't waste it on complaints, arguments, or distractions. You don't keep checking your phone every few minutes looking for dopamine. You wake up and take ownership of your space, your time, and your direction. Success is not about doing big things once in a while. It's about doing the right things every single day, whether you feel like it or not. It's about building routines that move you forward, even when life feels slow. That's why your mornings are so important, because they set the tone for how you treat the rest of your day. If you start lazy, you carry that feeling into everything you do. If you start sharp, you begin with purpose. And purpose creates progress. You have to stop seeing success as something far away, as something for other people, as something for those who are lucky or already established. You have to bring success closer. You have to say, if I'm going to get there, I need to start acting like I belong there. You're not faking anything. You're building a standard, a new identity. You're teaching your brain, your body, your habits to follow a different script. When you act like success is normal, you start talking to yourself differently. You don't entertain those old thoughts that say you're behind or not ready. You interrupt those thoughts and replace them with better ones. You remind yourself that you've come far, that you've handled worse, that you are capable, and that you don't need to beg life to work out. You just need to stay consistent. That inner dialogue shapes how you walk into every room. People can feel it. People respond to it. Life opens up to people who already feel at home in progress. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who just seemed grounded, like they knew who they were? They didn't brag, they didn't force attention, but their calm confidence made you stop and listen. That's not luck. That's the result of someone who made a daily decision to stop waiting for approval and start walking in certainty. You can have that too. But it starts when you say, today I show up different. And you'll notice something else. When you begin your day acting like success is your default setting, you stop trying to prove things to everyone. You stop explaining your every move. You stop lowering yourself just to make others comfortable. You rise and stay risen. Not to impress, but because that's who you are now. You take care of your responsibilities, you finish what you start, you speak with intention, you control what you consume, you don't just scroll through the day, you build something real. Success loves people who move with discipline. Not people who only work when they feel motivated. Not people who wait for the right time. But people who set a clear direction and refuse to drift. People who take personal growth seriously, who treat their energy with care, who get clear about their goals and don't let noise throw them off. You become that person, one small win at a time. You build your confidence by doing things others avoid. You stack those wins until success feels like part of your rhythm. And you'll have days when it's not easy. You'll have mornings when you don't want to get up, when your mind starts pulling you back into comfort, into old habits, into that low-energy version of yourself. That's the moment you have to speak up and remind yourself who you're becoming. Not who you've been, not what went wrong, not who doubted you, be who you've decided to be. That's where the real work is done, not when it's easy, but when it's hard. You're not chasing some dream life. You're building it from the inside out, You're laying one brick every day. When you wake up and act like success is already yours, you get stronger. Your standards get higher. Your excuses get weaker. And people start seeing the change in you. You don't have to announce anything. They'll feel it. Your presence will speak for itself. That's how success finds you. It's not about forcing anything. It's not about being loud or proving you're better than anyone else. It's about showing up every day with that quiet discipline, that silent power, that inner fire that says, I know who I am, and I know where I'm going. You stay consistent. You stay patient. You stay focused on your path. And before you know it, the world around you starts to respond differently. Everything starts from how you carry yourself. The moment you wake up. Stop making it complicated. You don't need the perfect plan. You need the right energy. You need to move like the life you want is already yours. You don't delay. You don't wait for signs. You don't second guess. You act. You execute. You build. You adjust when needed. But you keep going. That's what separates the successful from the stuck. They act like success is part of their identity, not a destination, but a decision. So tomorrow, when you wake up, don't ask how the day will go. Don't wonder if you feel ready. Just decide. Decide to move like someone who is building something great. Decide to respect your time. Decide to lead yourself. And remember, success isn't for the lucky. It's for the committed. It's for those who make it feel normal long before the world notices. Be one of those people. Be that energy. Be that presence. Be that proof. Chapter 3. Remove every habit that keeps you feeling small. You can't live a powerful life while holding on to habits that keep you feeling weak. If there's something you do every day that makes you feel small, it has to go. You can't expect to grow while feeding the same behaviors that shrink you. You can't expect confidence while keeping patterns that steal it. The truth is, your habits are shaping your identity every single day. They are deciding how you feel about yourself, what you expect from life, and how far you're willing to go. And if those habits don't match the future you want, they'll keep dragging you back to the life you're trying to escape. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they hold on to routines that keep them stuck. They wake up and repeat cycles that drain them. They stay connected to distractions that waste their time. They avoid responsibility and run to comfort. They do things they know aren't helping, but they do them anyway, because they've done them for so long that it feels normal. That's the trap. The habit that keeps you small will never announce itself. It feels easy. It feels familiar, but it slowly eats away at your power. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to look at how you spend your time, where your attention goes, how you respond to pressure, and ask, is this helping me grow or keeping me small? Because everything you do is either building you or breaking you. That extra hour scrolling when you could be learning, that's a small habit. Staying in environments that disrespect your potential, that's a small habit. And when I say small, I mean it makes you feel small. It makes you forget your strength. It makes you settle for less. It makes you question yourself instead of backing yourself. Your future is on the other side of better habits. Not perfect habits, just better ones. The kind that remind you who you are. The kind that push you to grow. The kind that make you look in the mirror and feel proud of the effort you gave. And those habits aren't built overnight. They're built through choices, one decision at a time, one hard moment at a time. You won't always feel motivated to do what's right, but that's when you lean into discipline. You do it anyway, because you're done letting small habits control your life. Nobody gets to a strong place by accident. It takes intention. It takes clarity. You have to decide who you want to be, and then look at your habits and ask, does this version of me do this? Would the focused version of you waste a full day watching other people live their lives online? Would the healthy version of you keep eating what drains your energy? Would the successful version of you keep talking yourself out of taking action? You already know the answer. So stop negotiating with the old you. That version has nothing new to offer you. There's a price you pay for every small habit you keep. You pay in peace, you pay in time, you pay in confidence, you pay in results. You can't afford to keep losing your power to patterns that bring you nothing. And I know it's not easy. I know those habits are comfortable. I know they helped you cope when life got hard. But you're not in survival mode anymore. You're in growth mode now. That means no more hiding in habits that keep you invisible. No more repeating routines that keep you small. You're here to rise, to build, to lead. And you can't do that while staying attached to habits that pull you backward. Sometimes it's not even what you do, it's what you allow. You allow people to waste your time. You allow your mind to drift. You allow yourself to quit things you know you should finish. And every time you do, your self-respect drops. Not because you're a bad person, but because deep down you know you're capable of more. That inner voice keeps reminding you. That frustration you feel, that's your potential knocking. That's the part of you that's tired of feeling small. That's the part that wants to break free. Listen to it. Don't numb it. Don't drown it out. Use it. You don't need to do everything at once. Start with one habit. One thing you know has no place in your life anymore. Maybe it's the way you procrastinate. Maybe it's the way you speak to yourself. Maybe it's the way you avoid hard things and pick the easy way out. Whatever it is, call it out. Face it. Replace it with something better. Don't just try to remove bad habits. Add better ones. Build new patterns that make you feel alive. Create systems that make you feel in control. Do things that remind you that you're growing. And when you fall back into old ways, and you will, because we all do, don't shame yourself. Don't spiral. Don't quit. Just reset. Just catch yourself faster. Just get back on track. Because strength isn't built from never slipping. It's built from how fast you come back. It's built from how deeply you commit to not living a small life anymore. You deserve to feel strong in your own skin. You deserve to live a life that reflects your potential. But you'll never get there by repeating habits that don't respect your future. The life you want is watching how you handle today. It's watching how you respond to stress. It's watching how you treat your mornings. It's watching what you do when nobody's around. You build a great life by acting like it matters now. Not later. Not when it's easy. Now. You show the world how serious you are by what you choose to do daily. And when you choose to remove the habits that keep you small, you begin to make room for everything greater. You start showing up with more clarity. You begin to walk differently. You make decisions faster. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop explaining yourself. You stop playing it safe. Because now your identity matches your vision. Now you're not hoping things will change. You're causing change. You're not sitting around waiting for permission. You've already given yourself the green light. This is how rich energy is built. Not in fantasy, not in theory, but in the grind of daily choices, in the silence of small victories, in the strength of saying no to what doesn't serve you anymore. That's where real power lives, in your ability to say, "I'm done living below my potential," in your decision to cut ties with every habit that makes you doubt yourself, in your refusal to play small just because it feels easier. You don't owe your old life anything. You don't owe comfort your future. You owe yourself the truth. You owe yourself effort. You owe yourself a higher standard. And if you're ready to grow, the first step is simple. Remove every habit that keeps you feeling small and replace it with one that makes you feel alive. That's how you rise. That's how you expand. That's how wealth, peace, strength, and clarity begin to chase you. Because you finally stopped chasing things that kept you stuck.
Chapter 4. Say no to anything that drains your energy. Your energy is your responsibility, and the faster you learn to protect it, the stronger your life becomes. There's nothing noble about saying yes to things that wear you down. You don't grow by keeping yourself busy with what drains you. You grow when you decide that your energy matters more than other people's approval. You grow when you stop stretching yourself thin just to be liked. You grow when you choose your peace over pressure. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you say no to your own growth. You say no to clarity. You say no to discipline. You say no to progress. And you begin trading your future for someone else's comfort. You have to get serious about what you allow in your space. You have to get clear about what adds to your life and what takes away from it. Because there's no middle ground. Everything you do, everything you accept, either helps you move forward or pulls you backward. You can't afford to keep living in a fog of other people's drama, noise, and expectations. You can't keep giving your energy to people who don't value it. You can't keep sacrificing your own needs just to keep things calm on the outside while you're falling apart on the inside. There's power in saying no. There's clarity in setting boundaries. There's freedom in choosing where your energy goes. But most people never learn that because they're afraid. Afraid of being misunderstood. Afraid of disappointing others. Afraid of standing alone. But here's the truth. If saying no means keeping your peace, then it's the right answer. If it means protecting your focus, it's worth it. If it means respecting your time, it's necessary. You don't owe anyone your energy. You don't owe anyone access to your attention, your emotions, or your mental space. People will take as much as you let them. Life will overwhelm you if you keep letting it run without limits. Every day you wake up with a limited supply of energy, and how you spend it decides what you get back. If you give your best hours to things that don't matter, you won't have anything left for what does. If you use your energy trying to fix people who don't want to change, you'll burn out. If you spend your time reacting to nonsense, you'll forget what it feels like to build something real. You have to start asking better questions. Not will they get mad if I say no, but what will it cost me if I say yes? Not will they understand me, but will I understand myself if I keep doing this? You're not selfish for protecting your space. You're not rude for setting limits. You're not wrong for choosing what feels right for your growth. You're just learning to put your energy where it matters, and that's the only way you'll create a life that reflects who you really are. Look at how you spend your time. Look at who you surround yourself with. Look at what you consume online, what conversations you tolerate, what patterns you repeat. Are they building you? Are they giving you something back? Or are they slowly draining your strength and leaving you feeling empty? You already know the answer, and once you know, you can't keep ignoring it. You can't keep saying it's fine when it's not. You can't keep explaining your exhaustion away. You can't keep blaming the world when you're the one holding the door open for the noise. You don't need to feel guilty for wanting peace. You don't need to explain why you're not available for every call, every event, every situation. You're allowed to step away from what doesn't serve you. You're allowed to walk out of rooms where you no longer feel alive. You're allowed to take back your time, your mind, your energy, and you don't need to wait until you're burned out to do it. You can say no now. You can choose now. You can set the tone for how your life feels every day. Most of the progress people miss out on isn't because they're not trying, it's because they're tired. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. They wake up already drained because their days are filled with things that don't align with who they're trying to become. They keep commitments that feel heavy. They stay around people who complain and gossip. They pour into things that give them nothing back. And over time they stop believing in their own goals because they've given all their energy away to things that never deserved it. If you want to protect your vision, you have to protect your energy. That means saying no to conversations that leave you feeling empty. Saying no to environments that bring out the worst in you. Saying no to mindless habits that steal your focus. Saying no to fake support. Saying no to situations that keep you playing small. And yes, it's uncomfortable at first. Yes, it might feel lonely. But that space you create, that silence you build, it will become the foundation for everything you've been trying to grow. There's a different kind of strength in walking away from what no longer fits. There's a different kind of power in choosing rest over hustle when you know your soul is tired. And there's a deeper kind of success that comes from building your life with intention instead of noise. Don't fall into the trap of saying yes out of fear. Fear of missing out. Fear of rejection. Fear of not being enough. You are enough. And the more you believe that, the easier it becomes to say no without guilt. You don't need to explain your peace. You don't need to justify your rest. You don't need to defend your silence. The people who truly understand growth will never ask you to sacrifice your energy just to stay close to them. And the people who don't understand that will never see your value until you stop overgiving. That's when things become clear. When you stop doing things just to keep people comfortable and start doing things because they align with who you are becoming. Your energy is your foundation. Every goal, every dream, every breakthrough starts with it. If your energy is off, your focus is off. If your energy is low, your motivation dies. If your energy is scattered, your progress gets delayed. That's why you need to guard it. Every yes you give should be an investment, not an expense. Every choice you make should come from a place of strength, not pressure. Every connection you allow should help you rise, not hold you down. The life you're building needs you to be present, not drained, not distracted, not bitter, but present. And that presence can only come from protecting what fuels you. So starting today, give yourself permission to choose peace over pressure. Give yourself permission to say no without guilt. Give yourself permission to walk away from anything that steals your energy, even if it's something you once thought you needed. Your future self is waiting on you to stop giving your best energy to the wrong things. And when you do, everything starts to shift. You begin to feel lighter. You begin to move faster. You begin to think clearer. And that's when the real growth begins. Chapter 5. Build a routine that makes you feel unstoppable. If you want to feel powerful in your own life, you need a routine that keeps you grounded, focused, and consistent. You can't build strength on randomness. You can't create momentum with scattered effort. You need structure that supports your direction. A routine that makes you wake up and know exactly who you are, what matters, and what to do about it. That kind of routine doesn't just organize your day, it shapes your mindset, your confidence, and your results. It removes the guesswork. It removes the hesitation. It removes the need for motivation. Because when your actions are already decided, your energy goes into execution, not overthinking. Success doesn't come from having more time. It comes from how you manage the time you already have. And the best way to manage it is to create systems that carry your vision, even on the days you don't feel like showing up. You don't need a perfect schedule. You don't need to fill every second. You need a simple, powerful routine that supports your goals and honors your energy. Something that feels like you. Something that reflects the life you're building, not the one you're trying to leave behind. Start by looking at how your mornings begin. The first hour of your day often decides how the rest of it unfolds. If you start in a rush, your mind stays scattered. If you start reactive, your energy stays unbalanced. But if you start with clarity and discipline, you set a tone of control, and that control gives you power. It tells your mind, we're in charge today. It tells your goals, I'm serious about you. That first hour is not a time to be distracted. It's a time to reconnect with your purpose. You don't need a long list of tasks. Just a few powerful habits done with intention. Wake up early. Move your body. Drink water. Plan your focus. Feed your mind with something real. Start your day with ownership, not noise. Then design your day around progress, not perfection. Don't try to do everything. Choose the things that matter most and put them first. Make space for real work. Block time to think deeply. Set limits on distractions and finish what you start. It's not about how busy you are. It's about how effective you are. There's a difference. People who are busy with nothing meaningful to show for it are not winning. People who move with direction, even in small steps, are the ones who grow. Your routine should protect your priorities. It should support your energy, not drain it. It should feel like a tool, not a burden. And it's not just about what you do, it's about what you stop doing. Stop letting your phone control your thoughts the moment you wake up. Stop saying yes to things that don't fit your plan. Stop filling your schedule with tasks that keep you occupied but not fulfilled. Stop pushing yourself into burnout just to feel productive. A strong routine isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things consistently. It's about replacing noise with rhythm. It's about removing chaos and choosing clarity. Your routine is how you tell yourself, I'm serious about who I want to be. Every decision, every block of time, every task completed with purpose sends a signal to your brain that you're not here to drift, you're here to build. That builds trust with yourself, and self-trust is the foundation of unstoppable energy. When you trust your own actions, you don't need constant motivation. You don't wait for inspiration to move. You move because that's who you are now. There's a reason why the most successful people in any field often live by routines. It's not because they lack creativity. It's because they understand the value of structure. Structure creates freedom. When your mind doesn't have to constantly decide what to do next, it can go deeper into the work. It can find flow. It can focus. You can't feel powerful while constantly reacting. Power lives in predictability. Not boring, lifeless repetition, but intentional structure that supports your growth every single day. And you don't need to compare your routine to anyone else's. Your routine should reflect your goals, your values, your lifestyle. It doesn't need to look impressive to other people. It needs to feel right to you. It needs to help you show up with strength and clarity. It needs to create momentum that you can carry through the week. You don't need to chase motivation every morning if your routine already sets you in motion. You just show up and do what's already been decided. That consistency is what changes everything. If you feel stuck, tired, or unfocused, don't change your whole life overnight. Start by changing your routine. That's where real shifts begin. You don't rise by waiting for a better future. You rise by creating better days, starting now. A day with discipline feels better than a day wasted on distractions. A day with progress feels better than a day lost in confusion. A day with alignment builds more confidence than a day full of reaction. That's the truth most people avoid. They want change without structure. They want results without consistency. But the ones who win are the ones who build systems that reflect what they value. And yes, life will test you. You'll have unpredictable days. You'll get thrown off track. But the power of a strong routine is that it helps you return faster. You don't need to restart your whole life. You just return to your structure. You realign. You don't fall into guilt or shame. You just reset and keep going. That's the advantage of having a routine that's built for you, not based on trends or what someone else says, but on what actually keeps you centered and moving forward. A great routine makes you feel strong, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. It reminds you that you're in control. It gives you space to think clearly. It helps you avoid unnecessary stress. It helps you move through life with focus instead of fear. And the best part is, it compounds. One solid day turns into a week. One focused week turns into a month. And before you know it, your entire life starts to shift, not because you did something massive, but because you showed up consistently with a clear plan. Build a routine that makes you proud to live your own life. Build one that reflects your goals and respects your energy. Build one that supports your peace, protects your focus, and brings out your strength. Don't wait to feel ready. Start now. Start small. Just choose one change today. One habit that moves you closer to the life you want. Then repeat it. Let it grow. Let it evolve. But most of all, own it. Own your time. Own your direction. Own your days. That's how you become unstoppable. Not by force but by discipline. Not by hype, but by structure. And not by chance but by design. Chapter 6. Show up daily like your future is watching. Every day you wake up, you're making a choice. Whether you realize it or not, you're deciding how your future will look by how you show up right now. There's nobody coming to force you. There's no alarm that will push you into action if you haven't already decided that you're ready to take your life seriously. The truth is, your future is built in the small moments, the quiet decisions, the way you carry yourself when nobody's around. That version of you, the one you dream of becoming, is already watching everything you do today. That version is not some distant fantasy. It's real. It's reachable, but it depends on how you move right now, how you speak to yourself, how you respond to difficulty, how you use your time, how you deal with discipline. You don't magically become that person. You grow into them. You earn their trust by doing what they would do even before the results show up. And that starts with taking your days seriously, showing up, not because you feel like it, but because you're committed to who you're becoming. Most people wait until they feel inspired before they move. That's why they stay stuck. They're waiting for a future that's waiting on them. They talk about goals. They talk about dreams. But their habits tell a different story. Your future doesn't care what you say. It cares what you do. It cares how you handle pressure. It cares how you manage frustration. It watches how you deal with failure, boredom, silence. Because that's where character is built. That's where momentum is formed. That's where real strength grows. When you show up like your future is watching, you stop making excuses. You stop complaining about things you can change. You stop wasting energy on things that don't push you forward. You take full ownership of your choices. You stop waiting for the perfect conditions. You stop negotiating with laziness. You stop dragging your feet through the day and start walking with purpose. Because now, you're not just doing it for today. You're doing it for every version of you that's counting on this moment. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need to announce what you're building. You don't need to prove anything to the outside world. What matters most is that you know you're moving in the right direction. And when you show up with that kind of consistency, that kind of quiet power, things begin to change. Your confidence grows. Your clarity improves. Your self-respect rises, because you start seeing yourself as someone who follows through, someone who doesn't quit, someone who keeps going no matter what. Your future self is not built in public. It's built when nobody's clapping, when nobody sees the effort, when the work is hard and the results feel far away. That's when you decide what kind of life you're creating. That's when you prove that you're serious. Not in your words, but in your discipline. Not in your mood, but in your movement. Every choice matters. Every action counts. And when you move with that level of awareness, you stop wasting time. This isn't about being perfect. It's not about burning yourself out or living under pressure. It's about living on purpose. Living with the awareness that what you do today sets the tone for what you'll experience tomorrow. It's about treating your time like it matters, your energy like it's valuable, your life like it's going somewhere important. That kind of mindset doesn't wait to feel ready. It doesn't overthink. It shows up, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's uncertain, even when it's quiet. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a real reason, a reason to wake up and move, a reason to keep going, a reason to keep building. Because without that reason, it's easy to drift. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to fall into patterns that keep you stuck. But when you know who you're becoming, when you know the life you're committed to, it gets easier to say no to what doesn't belong. Easier to focus, easier to work, easier to rise. And you will rise. You will look back and realize that every hard day you pushed through was worth it. Every moment you stayed committed, even when you felt like giving up, was building something. And not just results but something deeper. Identity, confidence, character. That's what really matters. That's what creates the energy that makes success feel natural. That's what allows you to walk into your future without fear. Because you're not hoping anymore. You're prepared. Your future self is already waiting. Waiting to see what you'll do with today. Will you rise to it or run from it? Will you waste it or work with it? Will you show up with intention or drift through the hours? Every moment is a message. Every action is a statement. You either say, I'm ready, or you say, I'm still not serious. There's no neutral. There's no pause. Life keeps moving, and your responsibility is to move with it. So if you're tired of feeling stuck, start showing up differently. Start acting like today matters, like your effort matters, like your decisions matter, because they do. Every small win counts. Every moment of discipline adds up. Every time you honor your vision, you build momentum. And that momentum is what carries you when things get hard. It's what keeps you grounded when life gets loud. It's what separates those who talk about growth from those who live it. There's something powerful about showing up day after day, even when it's hard, even when nobody notices, even when it feels slow. Because you're not doing it for approval. You're doing it because your future is watching. And you want to meet that future with pride. Not regret. Not guilt. Not excuses. But pride. Knowing that you gave it your full effort. Knowing that you didn't run from the work. Knowing that you showed up even when nobody else would have. And one day, all those small days will make sense. The days when you kept going. The days when you stayed focused. The days when you chose discipline over comfort. Those days will shape your future. Not the big events. Not the perfect moments. But the consistent ones. The ones where you chose to lead yourself. Where you chose to rise above doubt, distraction and delay. If you want to create something real, if you want to build a life that feels strong, you have to show up like your future is watching. Because it is. And it's waiting for the version of you who takes today seriously, who respects the gift of time, who treats progress like it's personal. That's the version who wins. That's the version who builds a life that feels right, not just looks good. That's the version who doesn't hope things work out. They work until they do. And they never forget that every step they take today brings them one step closer to everything they've been waiting for.
Chapter 7. Give your best even when nobody is looking. The work you do when no one's watching is the work that builds who you are. It's easy to give your best when there's applause, recognition, or praise waiting at the end. But that's not what shapes your strength. What really shapes you is how you show up in silence. How you carry yourself when there's no reward today. No audience, no validation. Just you, your habits, and your decisions. That's where the difference is made. That's where self-respect is built. Not in public wins, but in private discipline. Giving your best isn't about being seen. It's about staying true to your standards. It's about doing what you said you would, not because someone else is watching, but because you value your word. You trust your effort. You respect your future. The greatest growth happens in the unseen moments. When you wake up tired and still choose to follow through. When you stay committed, even when it's inconvenient. When you choose responsibility over comfort, focus over ease, progress over distraction. Most people treat effort like it only matters when there's something immediate to gain. That's why they stay stuck. They only work hard when there's a deadline. They only try when someone's checking in. They only give their best when they're being judged. But growth doesn't work like that. Growth doesn't respond to pressure from others. It responds to discipline from within. If you want to create something powerful in your life, you have to become the kind of person who works just as hard in silence as they do in the spotlight. There are no shortcuts to becoming your best. You can't skip the quiet days. You can't bypass the effort it takes to build habits, develop focus, and earn your own respect. That means doing the hard things even when you feel invisible, even when it feels like nobody cares, because those are the days that count the most. Anyone can perform when the room is full, but the real strength is built when the room is empty, and you still show up with the same energy, the same commitment, and the same standard. That's how you separate yourself. That's how you become someone others trust. Because when people know you don't cut corners, when they know you stay committed even in the dark, your name begins to carry weight. Not because you shouted it, but because you proved it. Over time, quietly, consistently, you become reliable. You become solid. And not just in the eyes of others, but in your own. You begin to trust yourself in ways you never did before. Self-trust is a powerful thing. It means you don't need to hype yourself up to get moving. It means you don't need anyone clapping for you to keep going. It means you do the work because that's who you are now.
You've set a higher standard, and you're committed to living by it, no matter what's happening around you. That's where real confidence comes from. Not from pretending, not from image, but from the quiet knowledge that you've done the work. So the next time you think nobody's watching, remind yourself that you are. Your future is, your habits are. Every action you take, even the small ones, is casting a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. Are you building someone you can count on? Are you keeping your word to yourself? Are you following through when it's not fun, when it's not convenient, when it's not easy? That's what matters. That's what shapes your identity. That's what builds the energy that eventually draws everything good toward you. Most people want results without the work. They want transformation without the repetition. But life doesn't reward what you wish for. It rewards what you work for. And the work that matters most is the work you do when nobody's watching. That's where character is formed. That's where grit is tested. That's where all the pieces come together. You have to learn how to love the process. Not because it's always exciting, but because it's always building something. Every rep in the gym when no one's there. Every hour of practice when it feels like progress is slow. Every early morning where you could have slept in. Every focused block of time where you could have given in to distraction. All of it is creating momentum. All of it is moving you forward, even when you can't see it right away. You have to stop waiting for someone to give you permission to take your life seriously. You have to stop needing applause just to get started. The strongest people are the ones who move without noise. They act with intention. They stay true to their routines. They respect their time. They own their actions. And they don't need someone looking over their shoulder to stay locked in. That's not just work ethic. That's maturity. That's purpose. That's integrity. And when you live like that long enough, something changes in you. You stop chasing validation. You stop needing proof. You start operating from a deeper place. You start moving like someone who already believes in where they're going. And that belief shows in how you treat your day. You're not just waiting for results anymore. You're doing the work because the work itself is part of who you are. It becomes your rhythm, your identity, your standard. You have to decide who you want to be when no one's paying attention. Because that's who you really are. Not the version that shows up when it's easy. Not the version that performs when there's recognition. But the version that grinds when it's quiet. That keeps promises in the dark. That keeps showing up when there's no reward yet. That version is the one who changes everything. That version is the one who sets the tone for your entire future. There's a quiet kind of power in consistency. A strength that grows when you stay disciplined even in silence. That's the kind of energy that can't be faked. It's felt. It's real, and it stays with you. Because it wasn't built for others, it was built for you. You earned it. You lived it. You showed up for it. And once you have that kind of discipline, that kind of integrity, you become unstoppable. Not because the world sees you, but because you finally see yourself. So give your best even when no one is watching. Give your best not because someone told you to, but because you know it matters. Because your future depends on it. Because your goals are counting on you. Because you're tired of living below your own standards. The day you stop needing someone else to push you is the day you take full control. And that's where real growth begins. That's where your life starts to shift. That's where you step into the kind of person who doesn't need attention to do what's right. You just do it. Because that's who you are now. Chapter 8. Think rich, speak rich, move like you mean it. The way you think, speak and move tells the world who you believe you are. You don't need to announce it, but your energy says everything. If you want to attract a better life, you have to start with how you think. You can't think broke, and expect to build wealth. You can't speak fear and expect to gain confidence. You can't walk through life with hesitation and expect people to trust your direction. You have to decide that the person you want to become is already living inside you, and you need to start acting like it. Not to impress anyone, but because that's the only way real change happens. You don't get to wait for results to start believing. You don't get to sit back and hope life hands you something great. You start by thinking better, speaking better, moving better. That's how you shift everything. Thinking rich has nothing to do with money in the bank. It has everything to do with how you see yourself, how you see opportunity, how you see your future. It means believing there's more for you, even when you haven't received it yet. It means making decisions like someone who values their life, someone who doesn't chase every shortcut, someone who doesn't settle for less than what they deserve. Thinking rich means you operate from vision, not survival. You don't just react to the moment, you plan beyond it. You don't waste time thinking about what went wrong. You think about what's possible, and you put your energy there. Your thoughts set your direction. If your mind is full of doubt, it will show in your actions. If your thoughts are full of lack, it will show in your choices. You don't become strong by thinking weak. You don't become focused by thinking scattered. If you want to build something solid, you need solid thoughts. That means cutting out the negativity. That means being aware of the story you keep telling yourself. That means replacing "I can't" with "I will figure it out." That means saying "I'm not stuck. I'm just not finished." Thinking rich is about seeing potential where others see problems. It's about staying calm when others panic. It's about being smart with your time, your energy, and your priorities. But thinking rich isn't enough if your words don't match. You have to speak like someone who knows their value. Stop talking yourself down. Stop shrinking your ideas. Stop watering down your goals just to avoid judgment. Speak with clarity. Speak with belief. Speak with direction. You don't need to be loud. You just need to be real. Say what you mean. Mean what you say. Use your words to build, not to destroy. Speak life into your future. Speak like someone who knows they're on the right path, even if the progress is slow. Words have weight, and when you speak from a place of confidence and purpose, people can feel it. More importantly, you can feel it. Speak as if your future self is listening, because it is. And every time you say something weak or careless, you reinforce the wrong identity. Every time you speak like you're not ready, you train your mind to play small, and small talk leads to a small life. You don't have time to play low anymore. Not if you're serious. Not if you're trying to grow. Not if you've already been through too much to go backward now. It's time to speak like someone who knows they belong in the room. Someone who doesn't need to justify their place. Someone who lets their tone say, "I'm not here by luck. I'm here because I've earned it." And now comes the part that pulls it all together. How you move. How you walk into a room. How you handle your schedule. How you sit with yourself in silence. You can't carry rich thoughts and speak with clarity if your actions don't match. That gap will always cause frustration. You need to move like you believe in yourself. You need to act like your time is valuable. You need to walk like your future is already unfolding, and your job now is to stay aligned with it. Movement reveals belief. If you move slow, if you move sloppy, if you move without purpose, the world sees hesitation. But when you move with control, when you move with focus, when you move like someone who knows their direction, people respond differently. Opportunities respond differently. Life responds differently. You don't need to fake confidence. You build it through repetition. You build it by keeping your promises. You build it by showing up, even on the quiet days. You walk into the gym and train, not because you feel like it, but because the future version of you depends on it. You show up to your work, not because anyone's watching, but because you don't need someone else to push you anymore. You take care of your health, your goals, your mindset, because your movement reflects your standards now. That's how rich energy is formed, not by hoping, but by doing. Not by pretending, but by aligning. Thinking it, saying it, moving like it's real, and you're going to face resistance. Life will test the new you. Old habits will try to pull you back. You'll hear voices internal and external that say you're not ready. You'll feel tempted to play it safe again. That's when you go harder. That's when you double down on your thoughts, your words, your actions. That's when you say, I'm not going backward. I've decided who I am. I'm not living like the old me. That decision needs to show in your behavior. Every day, no off days, no breaks from the standard you've committed to. You're not doing this for show. You're doing this to become someone you respect, someone you admire, someone you can look in the mirror and be proud of. That doesn't come from talent. It comes from showing up with discipline. Every single move matters. How you plan your day, how you speak to your family, how you treat your body, how you follow through. These aren't small things. They are the building blocks of identity. If you treat them like they matter, you build a foundation that can't be shaken. Rich thinking, strong speaking, powerful movement, that's how you rewire your life. That's how you stop feeling stuck. That's how you stop looking for permission. That's how you step into your future. Not by wishing for it, but by training yourself to handle it. You prepare yourself for what you've asked for. And you prepare by living like it's already unfolding. You don't wait to get chosen. You choose yourself. You think like it's already real. You speak like it's already happening. You move like it's already here. Because when you show up with that level of alignment, success doesn't feel like luck anymore. It feels earned. It feels natural. It feels like the only possible outcome. You're not surprised by it. You're ready for it, because you've been thinking it, speaking it, and moving in it every single day. That's how rich energy becomes your default. Not by force, but by choice. Not by chance, but by repetition. Not by waiting, but by becoming. And once you become that person, wealth, real wealth, doesn't need to be chased. It recognizes you. It finds you. It follows you. Because now you match it. Chapter 9. Protect your peace and focus on your path. Your peace is worth protecting. Your direction is worth defending. You cannot build a strong life if your mind is always crowded, if your emotions are always triggered, if your focus is constantly pulled in every direction. The world is full of distractions, and not all of them look like problems. Some of them look like conversations, opinions, comparisons, noise disguised as connection. But anything that pulls you away from your focus is costing you more than you realize. Peace isn't just a feeling, it's a foundation. It's the mental clarity that allows you to think, to act, to build, to grow. And without it, your path becomes blurry. You start reacting instead of creating. You start doubting instead of deciding. You start chasing what others are doing, instead of staying rooted in your own direction. You have to get to a point where your peace is non-negotiable, where your mind is not up for rent, where your energy is not available for drama, gossip, or distractions that add nothing to your future. You can't afford to give your attention to everything that demands it. You need to reserve your focus for what truly matters. Not everything is worth responding to. Not everyone is worth explaining yourself to. You don't have to attend every argument, reply to every message, join every trend. Most of it is noise, and if you're not careful, it will pull you off your path before you even realize it. There is no growth without focus. There is no breakthrough without discipline. And discipline doesn't just mean working hard, it means choosing what to give your energy to. It means understanding that your goals need room to grow, and that room comes from protecting your peace. You can't build anything lasting while constantly letting the outside world decide how you feel. You can't stay aligned if your emotions are always reacting to what other people say or do. The most powerful thing you can do is not rise to every distraction, but rise above it. Keep your head clear. Keep your energy clean. Keep your eyes on your own life. Focus doesn't mean isolation. It means direction. It means you know what you want, and you're not willing to trade it for anything temporary. It means saying no without guilt. It means walking away from what doesn't align. It means making your progress louder than your responses. Most people get stuck, not because they're incapable, but because they keep letting outside noise steer their attention. They drift from their plan, they get caught up in comparison, they watch too much, they listen too much, and they forget to live their own life with full effort. That cycle leads nowhere. Your peace is not something you find, it's something you protect. Every day, with your decisions, with your boundaries, with your habits, with your environment. Don't wait until your mind is overwhelmed to start guarding it. Don't wait until your focus is broken to start rebuilding it. Be proactive. Start cutting out what doesn't serve your path. Say no to the calls that waste your time. Turn off the content that clouds your thinking. Limit the spaces where you feel pressured to perform. You're not here to please the world, you're here to become who you're meant to be. And that requires clarity. The truth is, not everyone will understand your silence. Not everyone will support your discipline. Some people will misread your focus as distance. They'll question your new boundaries. They'll ask why you're not as available. They'll wonder why you're not reacting like you used to. But that's not your job to explain. Your job is to stay committed to your direction. To keep building even when others don't see the vision. To stay peaceful even when the world is noisy. To stay focused even when the distractions feel tempting. When you protect your peace, your thoughts become sharper. Your actions become more intentional. You stop wasting energy on what drains you. You stop participating in things that pull you off course. You begin to live from the inside out, not from the outside in. You lead your day with purpose, not pressure. You respond from awareness, not emotion, and that's how you gain control over your life. Not by trying to control everything around you, but by mastering what you allow inside of you. Focusing on your path doesn't mean ignoring everything else. It means putting your priorities in order. It means knowing the difference between urgency and importance. It means not giving away your future for the sake of a moment. It means remembering that you are responsible for where your life goes. Every time you break your focus to entertain something that doesn't help you grow, you delay your next level. You might not see the damage immediately, but it adds up. Every distraction costs something: time, energy, clarity, progress. And once you understand that, you stop letting distractions run your life. This is how you build strength without chaos. You keep your space clean. You keep your time protected. You keep your mind sharp. You move with purpose, not pressure. And you stop giving attention to what doesn't support your journey. That's not cold, that's committed. That's not rude, that's real. Your life is too important to keep giving away your best energy to things that don't deserve it. You've come too far to keep breaking your own focus for things that won't matter next week. You don't need to explain your peace. You don't need to defend your discipline. The people who are growing with you will understand, and the ones who don't, that's okay too. You're not building your life to fit into everyone else's expectations. You're building it to reflect your values, your vision, your direction. The clearer that becomes, the easier it gets to stay focused. The less noise you let in, the louder your purpose becomes. Peace and focus are connected. When your mind is calm, your path becomes clearer. When your thoughts are steady, your direction becomes consistent. That's when you stop starting over. That's when you stop second-guessing. That's when you begin to move with certainty. You know what to say no to. You know what's worth your energy. You know where you're going, and you don't feel guilty about walking away from what's not aligned with that. Every day is a new chance to protect your peace and focus on your path, to clean up your environment, to step away from the noise, to sharpen your attention, to stay loyal to the version of you that you're working to become. The future you want is not just built by effort, it's built by focus. It's not just created through movement, it's created through clarity. It's not just about what you do, it's about what you avoid. And the more you respect that, the faster your progress becomes. Your peace is your power, your focus is your freedom, and your path is your responsibility. Guard them, respect them, build with them. That's how you grow without chaos. That's how you rise without noise. That's how you win without needing validation. You stay clear, you stay consistent, and you stay true to the life you know you're meant to live. Chapter 10. Live today like wealth already belongs to you. You don't need to wait until you have something in your hands to start acting like it belongs to you. Wealth doesn't start in the bank. It starts in the way you live. In the way you think, the way you carry yourself, the way you handle your time, your words, your environment. You live today like wealth already belongs to you by taking control of your actions, not your outcomes. Because the person who attracts wealth is not reacting to what they have, they're moving in line with what they've already decided they're worth. Most people spend their lives chasing something they don't even believe they deserve. They wait until their situation changes before they shift how they think. They wait for a title, a number, a breakthrough to give them permission to act with confidence. But the truth is, life responds to alignment. When you begin to act like someone who has already stepped into their abundance, something changes in your energy. You stop needing. You stop asking for scraps. You start preparing for overflow. Not because it's already here, but because you're getting ready for it. This is about identity. It's about how you see yourself when no one is validating you. It's about waking up and saying, I am already enough to carry what I'm building. You live like wealth belongs to you by honoring your time. You don't waste hours scrolling through distractions. You don't treat your day like it's disposable. You treat every moment like it matters, because it does. You manage your energy like it has value. You protect your focus like it's your most valuable resource. Because it is. Wealth isn't just money. It's your ability to think clearly, act boldly, and stay consistent when no one's clapping for you yet. You can tell when someone has stepped into that mindset. They move with purpose. They don't overtalk. They don't seek attention. They stay calm under pressure. They show up when it's quiet. They make decisions that match where they're headed, not where they're standing. That's what this chapter is about. Learning to carry the energy of abundance before the world sees any evidence, Not to fake it, but to train your body and mind, to stop waiting and start becoming. If you lived today like wealth already belonged to you, what would change? Would you dress differently? Would you speak more clearly? Would you raise your standards? Would you stop explaining yourself? Would you start honoring your own boundaries? That's the question you need to sit with. Because the gap between who you are and who you want to become is often not a matter of talent, it's a matter of decision. A decision to stop living like you're waiting for something outside of you to give you permission to feel powerful. Living like wealth belongs to you is not about pretending to be rich. It's about removing the habits of lack. It's about shifting out of survival mode. It's about stepping away from desperation. When you live with abundance in mind, you don't beg for opportunities. You prepare for them. You don't act from fear. You act from vision. You stop doing things that cheapen your energy. You stop shrinking to fit into places you've outgrown. You begin to clean up your space, your time, your conversations, your mindset. You create order where there was chaos. Not because anyone told you to, but because it's what a wealthy version of you would already do. Most people delay their growth because they still see themselves through the lens of the past. They make today's decisions based on yesterday's limits. That cycle has to end. You've got to rise to a new story. You've got to show up like your future is already unfolding. Because every choice you make either confirms the old story or writes a new one. If you keep living like you're stuck, you'll stay stuck. If you keep speaking like you're behind, you'll stay behind. But the moment you begin to carry yourself like wealth is already yours, you shift something inside. You start building from belief, not just from effort. This doesn't mean everything becomes easy. It means you handle hard things with a different spirit. You face challenges with composure. You meet uncertainty with clarity. You walk into rooms with intention, not insecurity. You stop over-explaining and start executing. You make space for growth by letting go of what doesn't match your future. You don't keep people around who drain you. You don't keep habits that delay you. You don't keep thoughts that distract you from who you are becoming. Your environment begins to shift the moment your mindset does. When you stop speaking like someone who's unsure, the world starts treating you like someone who's ready. When you stop carrying the energy of scarcity, new doors begin to open. You stop being the version of you who is waiting to be chosen, and start becoming the one who chooses. And you do this not for applause, not for likes, not for recognition, but because that's who you are now. Live today like wealth already belongs to you, means acting with care. You eat to fuel your body. You rest to rebuild your focus. You work with intention. You speak with clarity. You move with direction. You no longer allow wasted time, wasted words or wasted energy to be your default. That shift alone puts you ahead of most people. Because the truth is, very few are willing to discipline themselves like this. But if you want a different life, you need different habits. If you want a different outcome, you need a different rhythm. If you want wealth to find you, you need to match its frequency, not someday, but now. Every decision is a signal. Every action is a message. You're either telling your future that you're ready, or you're showing it that you're still unsure. That's what this is about. Becoming the kind of person who doesn't just wish for more, but lives like more is already on the way. Someone who doesn't shrink in hard moments, but stands tall in them. Someone who doesn't just talk about transformation, but reflects it in their behavior. When you live today like wealth already belongs to you, you build confidence. You create consistency. You eliminate excuses. You don't let bad moods dictate your discipline. You don't let fear break your routine. You don't let doubt lead your decisions. You rise, and you rise again, and again. Because that's what real wealth is. It's not just numbers, it's strength. It's clarity. It's discipline. It's self-respect. You don't have to have everything figured out. You just have to start acting like the life you want is already meeting you, because it is. But it's not going to force its way in. You've got to open the door with how you think, how you speak, and how you move. That's how you turn potential into reality. That's how you turn vision into progress. And that's how you turn the life you want into the life you're already living. Not by waiting, not by hoping, but by showing up today, as if it already belongs to you. Because in the end it will.